This podcast is supported by Progressive, a leader in RV insurance. RVs are for sharing adventures with family, friends, and even your pets. So if you bring your cats and dogs along for the ride, you'll want Progressive RV insurance. They protect your cats and dogs like family by offering up to $1,000 in optional coverage for vet bills in case of an RV accident, making it a great companion for the responsible pet owner who loves to travel. See Progressive's other benefits and more when you quote RV insurance at Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Pet injuries and additional coverage and subject to policy terms.
A lot of changes are happening over at Town Square. Country Bar Stoney's and longtime staple Blue Martini are headed out, but the Korean barbecue Gong Chae is in. And those aren't the only changes the nearly 20-year-old shopping center has made recently. Today on CityCast Las Vegas, we are revisiting a conversation I had with Hey Las Vegas editor Rob Calatrese about why locals should care about Town Square's recent revival. It's Tuesday, July 22nd. I'm David Figler, and here's what Las Vegas is talking about. Rob, is Town Square getting a revival? Is that happening right before our very eyes?
Well, Town Square is an interesting place. I mean, it depends on how you look at it. I mean, as you mentioned, it goes back to 2007. I mean, George W. Bush was in office in 2007.
I've blocked a lot of that time out, but
yeah,
so I do remember.
That's how old Town Square is. But it opened right before the recession. Mm-hmm. So depending on how you look at it, I mean, Town Square's been going through a revival ever since it started. It's kind of been a slow and steady thing. Shops come and go, restaurants come and go. There's been office space there where businesses have come and gone. But, and also don't forget the pandemic, where obviously things took a hit during that time.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, you may remember that. But you know what? There's a lot of stuff going on there right now. And if you haven't been there in a while, I think it might look a little bit different to you.
I mean, that's the thing for me. I haven't been there for a while, but I do remember being excited as a local when it came online. There were so many food choices in one area, and they weren't all obvious. There were some chains, but there were some more localish things happening, little shops and whatnot. Is it still something that's for locals, or did the tourists kind of take over?
You know, I think locals have started to look at Town Square as this place where they sort of dip in and out. Like, I go to Whole Foods there every Sunday to pick up groceries, but I don't really do too much else at Town Square. You might stop there for the Container Store when you need something to put away and tuck away in your closet.
Yeah, that's our go-to when we're looking for efficiency. The Container Store, it's kind of awesome, but it's a dip in and out, like you say.
Yeah, but also, I mean, Town Square has a perfect location for tourists and locals alike. I mean, it's right there where the I-15 meets the 215. It's just south of the Strip on Las Vegas Boulevard. So it's almost like Strip adjacent.
Yeah, and it's got that really easy access to the freeway, which is really nice for me as a downtowner. I could just zip.
And getting off the freeway, it has that ramp, which is like so unusually efficient. I mean, it almost doesn't even feel like Las Vegas traffic construction when you have something so efficient like that there. But I think it's also a place where tourists, as soon as they come to town, they pull over in Town Square so they can load up on food from Whole Foods. They can load up on booze at Total Wine and take that to their hotel rooms to pregame so they don't have to blow all that money in the lobby gift shops.
So I don't know. What are the most exciting new developments there? What am I missing out on?
So if you go to Town Square now, the thing you might notice first is Popstroke, which is a new mini golf course.
Okay, that really does sound like something that I am vulnerable for because of my eating habits.
It's affiliated with Tiger Woods. I believe Tiger Woods is an investor, but it's not like his name is all over the place or anything like that. But it's a very modern-looking mini golf course. It's got those garage-style roll-up doors that all the cool places have these days. There's actually two different courses. One's the blue course, the other one's the black course. And I believe the black course is ADA compliant, so it's kind of like flatter terrain. So if you have like a stroller or wheelchairs, it's very accessible for that. It's not your traditional mini golf course where, you know, you're putting your ball through windmills and goofy stuff and silly kind of decorations. It's kind of meant to look like a real professional golf course, but just kind of in mini golf form. And there's food, there's bars, you can hang out and get some ice cream. And here's the good part. The ice cream, or the milkshakes anyway, can be spiked with alcohol. So that's always a plus. And you're not just paying for a game, you're paying for a day pass. And the last time I checked, it was about $45. I think locals get a $5 discount. And that's good for the whole day. So you can go on each course as many times as you want. You can play one, you can hang out and have some food, and then play the second one. So it's very kind of locals friendly and very accessible, and a little more affordable than some of the other golf attractions you might see elsewhere in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I'm taking a look right now at all the restaurants that are there, and a lot of the old familiar favorites are indeed, as you stated, still going strong, I guess, but I just stopped going to them because maybe there were other options. So what are some of the new restaurants being brought to Las Vegas that we might have been missing before?
Yes, there's three big ones I want to point out for you. But the most obvious difference, which really kind of shows the difference between the old town square and the new town square, is the Guest House, which took over the big Tommy Bahama retail space. Remember how big that was? And
Huge.
You could get food in there, and it was kind of weird. But the Guest House is a place that started in Austin, Texas. It's now coming to Las Vegas for its second location. And it just strikes me as a place that gets a lot of things right. I went in there on a Monday night just to check it out, thinking it'd be kind of quiet. Maybe I'll sit by the bar. And we had to wait for a table a little bit. There was a lot of stuff going on. And you can see where locals are drawn to a place like this because it kind of has a lounge feel. Like, the lighting is the right level. The music is the right level. It's a lot of like kind of foliage against wood decor, textured ceilings, that kind of thing. And I have to admit, the food is really good. There's a few
You have to admit that?
I have
Were
to
you going
admit
to keep that a secret?
You know, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. It's really good. We had an amazing pork chop there, which I thought was delicious. The salad was delicious. And they have this miso mushroom side dish, which might be like the best mushroom side dish I've had in Vegas in a very long time.
So Guest House, that's the spot.
They bake their own bread, which you don't see often, and they make their own ice cream, which is always a good sign. Pecan ice cream. And you get these little homemade molasses cookies complimentary at the end, whether you order dessert or not. So these molasses ginger snap cookies sealed the deal for me. And they have a lot
You're in love with this spot, Rob. I love your love.
I really like it.
You know how sometimes you just want to try something new, something local, special, maybe even a little inspiring? Well, that's Crush Pad Wine Bar. Crush Pad, it's a locally owned, award-winning wine bar created by a husband and wife team, both certified wine pros who believe wine should be fun, welcoming, and never pretentious. And on Saturday, July 26th, they're hosting their biggest event yet, the Grand Wine Tasting. It's going to be a beautiful evening of more than 25 wines poured by local wine experts. You get a grazing table of charcuterie, a take-home artisan goblet, live music, and it's all for a great cause, supporting the Nevada Ballet Theater. Tickets are $150, or you could go VIP for rare wines and early access at 6 p.m. Space is limited, so grab your tickets now at crushpadwinebar.com. That's crushpadwinebar.com. And hey, there's going to be a lot of wine involved, so be safe and consider taking a rideshare. Again, that's crushpadwinebar.com. Go check it out. Hey, Las Vegas, ever look for a sign of what to do? Well, here's one, literally. The Neon Museum is offering a limited time deal just for Nevada residents. 50% off admission to one of the most iconic must-see spots in the city. That's right, half off to explore Vegas history through the glow of vintage neon signs. Just swing by the box office, show your Nevada ID, and you're in. No promo codes, no online hoops to jump through, just a classic local appreciation deal. Make it a night with friends, bring visiting family, or finally check it off your Vegas bucket list. Visit the Neon Museum and let the lights of Old Vegas shine for you. Now, this dazzling deal won't last forever, so grab your tickets now and experience the glow before it's gone. Again, to apply the discount, just bring your Nevada State ID card to the Neon Museum and purchase your ticket at the door. To learn more, visit neonmuseum.org. One ticket per valid ID. All right, so what other places are on the new radar for eating over at Town Square?
Let's talk about Tamba. Tamba, I like even better than the Guest House.
Now, that's an Indian restaurant.
Yes, so that opened up near the end of the year, and I'm not exaggerating in saying this is easily one of the best restaurants in Las Vegas right now. They're doing an upscale spin on Indian food, which you really don't see a lot. The team has everything in place. It's kind of like a tale of two dining rooms. You walk in through the front door, and there's this thing they call Bar Jadoo. It's a cocktail lounge, and I think it's almost better to have dinner there. Like, it just kind of feels like very sophisticated, like you're in a cool, like, San Francisco hotel or something. Mm-hmm. And you can sit there, the bar faces you, excellent selection, and the cocktails are done by a very well-known mixologist, Giuseppe Gonzalez, who put together,
I love that person's name. It flows. It's very romantic.
It just sounds good. Sounds like a guy who knows cocktails.
Yeah.
More than 30 specialty cocktails are on this list, and they're kind of divided into categories like rejuvenation, fire, antiquity. I like my old-fashioned, and they wash their bourbon with ghee.
See, Rob, and I love the way that you view things, because it really is refreshing.
Because I judge everything by the old-fashioned.
Yeah, well, you do that too, but I just don't have this romantic view of anything at Town Square. It kind of just became sort of perfunctory and generic to me, but you're describing these places in ways that really does make me want to give it a second look.
And let me just point out one more thing about Tamba, is they have a sushi menu, which you might not associate with Indian
food
dining. But the sushi chef is Sun Park, who used to be at Sushi Samba, used to be at Kumi, used to be at Saki Rock.
Oh, those are all good places.
Yeah, so this is a guy who knows his stuff, and just kind of adding little Indian touches to fresh fish, like tamarind-based chutney, homemade ponzu, little spices, but they don't overwhelm the fish. They're perfect. The main chef is a guy named Anand Singh, who just does a really good job, just really elevating Indian food in interesting ways. There's just a lot of creativity and a great environment.
That's a crazy fusion. Next time we get together, Rob, let me tell you about the birria place in my neighborhood that has a sushi menu too.
I'm in.
Okay, so now we have to address the I don't want to
the Hollywood star in the room.
The Hollywood star in the room. Mark Wahlberg has brought some of his flair down to Town Square. What's that?
All right, so Mark Wahlberg is kind of becoming the new Mr. Las Vegas, right? We're kind of seeing him everywhere.
Watch out, Wayne Newton.
Yep, he's opening up his gym. He's doing other things. He's kind of leading the charge for Vegas to have movie studios.
Tequila
here
too.
Yes, the name of the tequila is Flecha Azul. So it only makes sense that the restaurant was also called Flecha. Mm-hmm. So I went down to check out this restaurant on a Sunday. And if you're going to start with any day to check out this restaurant, go on Sunday, because they do this brunch buffet
at Flecha
on Sundays that just blew my mind. It's, I think, in the neighborhood of $48 or so, give or take, for adults. Kids 12 or under eat free. But they go all out on this Mexican-style buffet. I mean, you walk through the dining room, and you go out on the patio, and they have stations for making eggs, for making tacos to order, doing all kinds of stuff out there. And then you come back in and you walk past a cotton candy station and a dessert station and kids stations. And then you go out into a second dining room, and they just have all this stuff out there. I mean, they have machaca, which is kind of like a beef and eggs combination. They have chorizo and eggs, which is a little bit spicier. They had two different kinds of enchiladas, chile verde, which is almost like a beef stew, chile Colorado, which is more like a beef stew, and cornbread, ribs, eggs Benedict if you want something more traditional, chicken fajitas, shrimp. You can load those up on tortillas. The server will bring it out to you. And what I kind of like about it is a lot of the stuff isn't covered in those stainless steel serving containers that you usually expect with a brunch buffet. These are out in these like cast iron circular dishes or trays. And you know what? They never looked like they were out there too long. There was always steam rising out of them. And I asked the chef there about this. His name is Andre Miramontes. And he told me the secret is small batches. They rotate the food in frequently just so it's not sitting out there too long. And everything I tried was so good. It was so fresh, and it was made with just the right amount of seasoning and spices. And they really do an amazing job with this. And for locals, maybe $49, whatever it is, might be a little high on a Sunday morning, but you get so much food out of this, and the food is all really good. Start with the Sunday brunch and then take it from there.
I love how you paint the pictures, Rob. So tell me, what would be your ideal itinerary for visiting Town Square? Because it's not just food and bev.
Well, let me...
containers.
Yes. Let me dip my paintbrush into
nice.
An itinerary,
you go,
if
Van
you will. You know what? I say just go down to Town Square without any real game plan in mind. Because there's so many places you can check out, whether it's the guest house, whether it's Tamba or anything else, or maybe it's an older restaurant that you haven't revisited in a while.
Yeah, I wonder what's worth revisiting that's been there for a bit.
You know what? I've always liked Double Helix, which has been there.
You're a wine bar guy.
I feel forever. Well, they do good wine, and also they do really good whiskey. They do a good happy hour, and it's one of those places you can just go in, hang out. There's a little patio there with fire pits, which is always a nice touch. But I've always liked that place, and I think it's always worth revisiting Kabuki. I used to be a big fan of Kabuki because they had one in Phoenix, Arizona.
I love going there before a movie over at the AMC. It's just we stopped going to movies. You know what? I think that was a pandemic thing in a lot of ways.
Yeah, no, it's one of those places I used to go to. I haven't been there in a long time, but they always had a solid happy hour, and they always had a solid sushi menu. Maybe it's not the same as going to see, your favorite Morimoto restaurant on the Strip or your omakase special in Chinatown. But I think Kabuki is a really solid place to go on a weekday, take advantage of that happy hour, and then just walk around. They have that center kind of common grounds courtyard area, and there's always families out there, which is always nice. When you see kids actually playing and not, stuck with their eyes glued to a tablet. And then you've got that kind of little bridge there with the pond. It's like a little creek. And you can just kind of walk around. You can pick up
all sorts of treats. There's cream puffs and yogurt. Yogurtland, I think, is still there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's been there for a while.
There's kind of a little something for everyone. But personally, if I was going to plan out a day, I would just wing it, go check out something to eat, get some drinks, and then walk over to Barnes & Noble and do a little buzzed book browsing. And you might end up spending more money than you expect.
Well, for people watching, back when it first opened, I did love the Blue Martini. It seemed to be pretty much a
single spot,
single spot, a pickup bar.
Go there, get your hookah.
Yeah, but just kind of watching all the interactions was always kind of fun. But again, that one fell off the list.
Yeah.
This episode of CityCast is sponsored by Babbel. Learning a new language opens the door to new friends, new cultures, maybe even a whole new life. So why not start that journey today? You can start speaking a new language with confidence thanks to Babbel's conversation-based technique that quickly teaches you useful words and phrases about the things you actually talk about in the real world. I'm CityCast CEO David Plotz, and I've been learning Spanish with Babbel. Just one of the 12 languages you can learn with it, including Dutch, French, Italian, which is going to be next for me, Turkish, and Russian. I love the interactive dialogues that Babbel has, which allow me to practice what I've learned right away, and also the speech recognition function, which makes sure I'm getting the pronunciation just right, which honestly, usually I'm not. Also, I love that Babbel's lessons always cover actual things that I talk about in the real world, like food, talking to people I've just met, and also food. Staying motivated to learn a new language has never been easier thanks to real-time feedback, progress trackers, and handy visualizations in only 10 to 15 minutes a day on Babbel's mobile app or website. So get talking with Babbel. I want you to learn another language, so I'm teaming up with Babbel to gift you 55% off subscriptions, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/citycast. Get up to 55% off at babbel.com/citycast. Spelled BABBEL.com/citycast. Babbel.com/citycast. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Mic check. 1, 2. Are we recording? Hi, I'm Michelle Bernstein, an award-winning chef, restaurateur, and mom. I have a lot on my plate, including my psoriatic arthritis symptoms. That's why I was prescribed Cosentyx. It helps me move better.
Cosentyx secukinumab is prescribed for people 2 years of age and older with active psoriatic arthritis. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentyx. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur, like tuberculosis or other serious bacterial, fungal, or viral infections. Some were fatal. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms like fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, had a vaccine or plan to, or if inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions and severe eczema-like skin reactions may occur. Learn more at 1-844-COSENTYX or Cosentyx.com.
Ask your rheumatologist about Cosentyx.
Also, there's the comedy club that's there that started in the Arts District, which is kind of interesting. They have some big names there, Wise Guys.
Yeah, so it's upstairs in that space where I believe an Irish pub used to be, but it was a kind of like a party spot too. And Wise Guys is getting a lot of good reviews. They're bringing in a lot of strong national headliners. And our buddy Jason Harris, who has a bi-weekly Thursday night residency at Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club on the Strip, he says Jimmy Kimmel's is his favorite spot, but his second favorite comedy club to perform is Wise Guys at Town Square. He was just raving about it.
So I like the downtown version. It's a little grittier, but I'd be willing to check it out. But the one thing that I am resisting, Rob, and I know you went to go check it out, this is the last thing I want to talk about.
Don't resist. Give in.
New innovations down there. There's like a Robotronic coffee bar or something. You went to check that out. I resisted. I don't think it's futile, but tell me about your experience at the automated coffee bar.
David, I admire your dedication to not trying to say the phrase AI, but we're going to go ahead and say AI. This is a coffee shop. It's driven by artificial intelligence.
Oh my God.
And actually, its name is Claufey. I believe that's how you pronounce it. It's actually coffee made by a robot, and the robot's name is Adam, and it's by a company
of course it is.
called Rich Tech Robotics, which is actually based in Las Vegas. So I want to give this place some credit. We got a local, I don't know if you'd call it a startup, but you got a local tech company here that's specializing in robotics. Robotics are the future. And you know what? You can come to Claufey and watch this robot named Adam make a coffee for you. And I want to be clear, this really isn't for like coffee nerds. This is more for like the boba tea, sugary syrup coffee kind of crowd.
You're not selling this to me.
It's not for you. And it's,
I mean,
honest,
I feel
it's not for
personally
me.
attacked by this concept, you know.
But if you're a teenager walking through Town Square on the way to see a movie at the theater at the AMC, this is kind of your place for you. If you like those sugary Starbucks drinks, this is probably your place. And what it kind of is, it's really more of a showpiece for this robotics company than it is like a real coffee joint for serious coffee drinkers. It's almost like CES in a window shop, if that makes sense.
I mean, I am all for a local business doing well and coming up with an innovative product and presentation and all that. But I am inspired to form a crew of Luddite beanheads to like take over this place and, you know, make the Robotista's brains explode with intricate pop culture trivia conversations or something, just try to fry their brain circuits like Logan's Run. So maybe there is a in-between spot. I don't want to crap on a place I haven't been to, but I like my live baristas.
It had its charm, and it's a little bit of a showpiece. It's more entertainment than food and beverage.
Fair. All right. Well, at least we gave him some play. And there's a lot of things to get play down there. I mean, we don't have enough time to talk about all the neat little things down there, but what do you think is next for Town Square? Do you think it will stay relevant, or is it doomed to fade away into the background like so many Las Vegas projects have over the years?
You know, I think as long as the Strip continues to have this reputation for being a little too chaotic and a little too expensive for locals, Town Square is always going to have a place. And you really feel like Town Square shedding some of the old skin. It's bringing in some fresh blood and has some really interesting things. So I just see things going up for Town Square. I mean, the location is a no-brainer. You can't lose there. But I think the big question, David, is Fry's. What are they going to put in Fry's? That place has been empty for years now.
That huge electronics store that's right next to the giant Town Square footprint. Fry's was a regular destination for us to get all of our, souped up Radio Shack needs in the 2000s. And it's been vacant for a really long time. So, yeah, what are you hearing? Rumblings, rumors, secrets?
Well, what's kind of funny about Fry's is that Fry's was actually there before Town Square. Fry's was its own thing. I think it opened in 2003, and Town Square came along in 2007 and basically annexed Fry's. Kind of like how America's going to do with Greenland.
Yeah.
Town Square took over Fry's and kind of made it part of its country and culture.
Well, they had great resources there. There was also like a cool little coffee bar that was in there, and there was also a
it was
bookstore.
Really huge.
It was kind of a cool spot.
But I think the obvious answer is you take that old Fry's space and you make it the Town Square station for the Boring Company.
Oh, God.
Or a Home Depot. One of the two.
I mean, don't get me started on the erstwhile fledgling transport system under our earth. But I will say this, it is a big-ass space.
It is.
And it would be really fun if it was a destination, whether it be like a roller skating rink, old-school throwback 70s, or a place where you could go get like the best confections, or even like a little, Pinball Hall of Fame is right across the street, so you don't really need that, but maybe something a little bit more frivolous and fun.
I would like to see Meow Wolf take it over and turn it into some kind of art installation that's based on Electronics Store. How about that?
Oh my gosh, that would be so great. Yeah, I mean, there are some escape rooms already down there at Town Square. So
that's played out. I'm over escape rooms.
So whatever's next in immersive entertainment, maybe Fry's is the spot to look at.
Yeah, or how about an escape room that doubles as a boring station?
Stop it already.
How do you get out? How do you escape? Join your friends and put your brains to the test.
That's a question for a whole nother investigative report. Well, Rob, I have a sneaky suspicion that we might be meeting up someday soon over at Town Square. Thanks for joining us today on CityCast Las Vegas.
Yes, I think we need to get together, bring our SOs, and have a double date. The cocktails are on me.
Nice. And well, then mini golf's on me. Perfect night.
Deal.
That's all for today here on CityCast Las Vegas. If you enjoyed the show, hey, go tell a friend. You could also rate the show, leave us a review, and then subscribe to our morning newsletter. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Till then, stay lucky.